Sorry, it's all different now. I haven't had a chance to bring myself.
Yeah.
All right, it is 7:15. I will call to order the.
Five.
What did I say? 7:15. Boy, I really want to get out of here, don't I?
Adjourn the meeting.
It is 5:15. I will call to order the 2026 reorganizational meeting in the city of Biwabik. Shannon, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilor Burke.
Here.
Lehman.
Here.
Mimi.
Here.
Waller. Here. Mayor Beyondich.
Here. Please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Item 4, we'll move to approve the agenda.
Support.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 5, annual reorganization. We'll start with item A, designate depositories and city investments. Currently, we utilize, if you look on the 2026 reorganizational paperwork, we use currently Park State Bank, the Biwabik branch, and the Northland Securities for investments. Do I have a motion?
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to designate depositories. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item B, designating the official newspaper. Currently, we have a proposal from Hometown Focus, who is our current, and the Mesabi Tribune.
I'll make a motion that we continue with Hometown Focus. Or
It has been moved and seconded to continue with Hometown Focus. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5C, designate regular meeting location, date, and time. And I will just add C1 in there to designate October replacement date due to holiday. So unless there's any discussion on changing the meeting, I don't know if that's actually in the charter or not, to be honest with you. But second Monday of each month here at City Hall, moving the Tuesday, October 13th in observance of Columbus/Indigenous Peoples Day.
so moved.
And a motion
Support.
and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Designate Robert's Rules of Order, item D.
So
Support.
Motion by Councilor Nemi, second by Councilor Lehman, to designate Robert's Rules of Order for meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So designate item E, signatories for check signing.
Support.
It has been moved and second to designate the signatories for check signing. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, designate Mayor Pro Tem. And I'm suggesting we designate Councilor Berg as the Mayor Pro Tem for 2026.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to designate Councilor Berg as Mayor Pro Tem. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On the back side of that sheet, you will see the mayoral committee and liaison appointments. And if you do notice, after speaking with Councilor Nemi, she's got some, potential doctor appointments and whatnot, that there would be just a backup for her. A couple of those liaison spots. Hopefully it won't make a difference, but just in case. But the committees and liaisons that I am proposing are Personnel Committee, myself and Councilor Lehman, Budget Committee, Councilor Burke, Councilor Waller, Planning Commission ex officio, Councilor Waller, Fire Department Liaison, Councilor Berg, Cemetery and Campground Liaison, Councilor Nemi, Secondary, Councilor Lehman, and the Mayor Pro Tem. Oh, we already did Mayor Pro Tem. So, do I have a motion?
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the 2026 committees and liaisons. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And item 6, adjourned.
Support.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the reorganizational meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion adjourned, 17:20. All right,
Seven.
it is 17:30. I will call to order the regular agenda meeting of City of Biwabik. Shannon, can I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Burke.
Here.
Lehman.
Here.
Feeny.
Here.
Waller.
Here.
Mayor Beyondich.
Here. We'll start with administrator, staff, and consultant updates. Geez, Michael, way to start.
Be quiet.
Throw your name tag on the floor, the heck of it.
Okay, yeah, I have a couple of updates. So the first thing is I just handed out an iWork detail report, the work order. So that wasn't in the packets because it wasn't, last week had not been completed, so we just printed that today. The idea is that this is more so what it's going to look like going forward, where they are entering in the hours and all information. I want the council to sort of think about what maybe other data or information you want on here. You can put a ton of different stuff, but some of it's not really relevant or it's always going to be blanks. But if there's anything, let me know. What is it? What do you guys want on there? So, other than that, just a few little things. I had met with my first meeting of the admin meeting with the East Range Joint Powers Board was today. So I met with the other administrators in the area. It was the first meeting for me, but I do see there are plenty of opportunities for collaboration that may have been lacking in the past, and then we can work forward going forward. I got up to speed a bit with George with Northland Finance, learning our investments and all that. We do a follow-up meeting this week to get. I have a couple questions now that I've kind of reviewed it and whatnot. For him. I'm also going to be meeting with Matt Reed to go through all of our completed, current, and potential future projects to get all the details on all of that. We are continuing to clean up old IT equipment. There are a lot of computers, monitors, cords, just stuff that's very outdated. And so getting rid of the easy stuff and figuring out what to do to dispose properly of the other electronic equipment. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So a bunch of notes. Our Public Works former foreman has officially departed. It has been 1 week right now with 3. And again, the iWork report is there. We will be following up with them tomorrow, sort of as part of our regular staff meeting following the council meeting, but also to see how that first week went and give feedback and see what they may have for us so that we're good continuing going forward. Sorry to go back to IT, but I have met with VC3 to get better understanding of the IT system and trying to wrap my head around all of the complications surrounding that. Website continuing to update, but there's still plenty more to do. Financial work is continuing. That's going to be ongoing. As we get started on the audits, there's going to be a lot more as we kind of dig into the finances. So as we get to that, I'm sure there'll be stuff for the budget committee for us to talk about. And I guess the first sort of financial issue and stuff that we're tackling is the refuse. So there's a lot of that on the agenda tonight. So we'll get to it. And then I created templates for your documents. So you'll notice in the upper corner there's the logo and all of that. I think it makes things look a little more nicer and professional, all that. But if there's any input or feedback, I'm happy to hear it. Just from there. And the last thing that there's something about how the packets get distributed to the public, right? We put them online, we send them out by email. I'd like to have an email list of interested members of the public that would just sort of be an automatic send out, a blind carbon copy them, for efficient notices. I think I can set that up on the website, so you don't have to pay out or outsource it, but I'd like to have it so you can just click a link, enter your email, and now you're going to get updates. It'll probably start out as just like agenda packets, but down the road it should be, planning and zoning 1, PUC 1, general knowledge. It's a good way to communicate with the public and put it out there. So that's all I have for
We'll
updates.
put that on social media too once you create that link
Yeah.
to the website.
Absolutely.
I think that would be really good in case we like an emergency also, because we don't really have any way to notify the public if there's an emergency right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Are there any questions for administrator? Okay. Staff updates, I guess, Larry.
I do. Not on the agenda.
Okay. Shannon, good. Okay, we'll move on to city council review and questions on the meeting agenda items. We'll start with Councilor Burke. Okay.
I have nothing else.
Counselor Navy, any questions?
Yeah, I pulled out Jeannie and Joan's letter and their recommendation for Tyler Bodie. I don't know if we need to advertise or not. But they recommended him, they worked with him, and they've given him high recommendation. So can we just go ahead and hire him, or does the council want to advertise?
It's a little bit complicated because they're not city employees at all. From what I understand, we are paying them like an hourly rate for when they go down there and they work. But it's almost like it's just, that's like a company and they're just changing employees. That's nothing to do really with us so much. But from what I understand, the council did like hire originally those two to do the cleaning.
We approved him as a cleaner.
As a
It's not
cleaner.
as- we didn't hire them as employees.
Okay.
They don't, they're
Yeah, they're not
1099.
employees for
No.
sure. I know that. So that's why it was just in the consent agenda, because it's like nothing's really changing here other than they're just switching people. But yeah, I don't know if we would need a formal.
We don't need to have a formal proposal or but we can if we want. Council's discretion.
Well, it sounds like to me that Gene is retiring and Joan is gonna continue for the time being and work with Tyler and send Joan to our team, so. I don't have a problem with just keeping it in the consent agenda and passing it. If anybody wants it, we can definitely.
It's on the consent.
Yep.
To put Tyler there.
Yeah, just in,
Yeah.
in place of Gene
We're
with,
not gonna find a better gentleman.
and he's been helping them because,
I talked
one of
to
them
him,
has been injured and the other, so he's been helping, so. Oh, yeah, I suppose you see him
I see
fairly regularly,
him regularly.
Yep.
But,
so.
he expects to be here at 6, and I said, why? I went, no, you don't need to. He insists he's gonna be here, so whether he does or not. I said there's no reason.
Like you said, it's in the consent agenda, and that's why it was, after discussing
Okay.
with,
No, that's fine.
so. Unless anybody wants it pulled, and then we can pull that during the regular meeting.
You might wanna let him know. that After the consent agenda, that he
Yeah.
He's not gonna get, it's
Yeah.
like the full tap thing 2 months ago,
Yeah.
like they sat here all night with
Yeah, you're good.
So anyway, that's all I have for now.
Okay. Counselor Waller.
Yeah, the only thing I have is a correction on the special meeting minutes from December 17th, because it had Mayor White come in instead of Michael on there.
Yeah.
Others. That was the only thing that I had.
Shannon, if you were perfect all the time, we'd start to wonder about you.
That's getting deep. I got shit to say.
So from that's all you had, Counselor Waller?
And then I did have a question. I'm just wondering, this is for the PUC, if they were able to get that barge out of the pit or if it's still in there.
It is still in there. It'll have to be a springtime project, but they were fortunate enough to get funding for it through the water meter funding. That was able to be added onto it. So we have money to get it done. So there shouldn't really be any reason why it's not done as soon as the funds.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Because that was a big price tag.
Yes, yeah, it was a really nice that they really had it together.
Well, and that doesn't include the price tag to get down there, because that road is, it's barely side-by-side passing at this point. So how you're going to get any sort of equipment down there without a little bit of funding, that would be impossible. So, yeah.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks.
Okay. And then I guess I will move on to, if I have anything, and I don't believe I do, everything is on the agenda. I do want to just note that under item 11D, with the appointing of planning and zoning commissioners with that resolution prior, it's under one item under new business, we will need a motion to declare the vacancy of Peter Santorigi versus, or it's before we pass the resolution, just because the resolution does state a vacant seat on there. So just as there will be, there hasn't been, we're just going to remove it by under the direction of the charter. Because he hasn't, yeah, there has been multiple communications.
I thought maybe you did.
No, there was a Facebook post though. that's the only thing I wanted to make sure I noted. Yeah, we'll probably be to you almost pretty right away. So I'm guessing there might be some. So, well, if there's nothing else for the agenda meeting,
Support.
moved and seconded to adjourn the agenda setting meeting at 17:40. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. It is 6 p.m. I will call to order the regular city council meeting of the city of Biwabik. Shannon, can we have a roll call, please?
Counselor Berg,
Here.
Lehman,
Here.
Mimi,
Here.
Waller, Mayor Bianich.
Here. Please stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll move on to item 4, agenda approval.
So moved. Support.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, consent agenda.
So moved. Support.
It has been moved and supported to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Welcome, Tyler, and thank you.
Yep, you guys are good. Okay, item 6, there were no consent agenda items pulled. Item 7, there are no nuisance hearings. Presentations, there are none. Mayor and council member reports. We will start with Councilor Burke.
Oh, yes, I have a few tonight. First of all, to the Personnel Committee and to Adam, I don't think you could have got it more. You hit that on the spot, Personnel Committee, and Adam, thank you. I think this is going to really help this city. Thank you. And with the Public Works, in the month of November and December, when you get snow, rain, sleet, you got everything in those months. Those gentlemen took care of everything perfectly, and I can't compliment them enough. To the fire department for their annual December around town for the kids, I couldn't participate. That was tremendous. Fantastic job. Thank you. Couple things. The council package, I think we got to go back to getting that on time on Thursday, where there's a deadline. I think a couple of years ago, the council set it up where there's a deadline for any council agenda items. I believe it was Monday at noon. I could be wrong. And so the council package was delivered on Thursday, and I sure would like to see that go back. I think it would, if the administrator would cut that off that way it was supposed to, I think it would help him to get it delivered. One other thing, closing arbitrarily the city hall on December 26th. I've heard a lot about it negatively, and I hope it doesn't happen again. And I'd also like to see it go back to the city hall hours, back to the normal hours of starting at 8 rather than, I know there was a transition between administrators and training and this and that. I would really like to see it go back to normal hours. It's just my feeling. And the other thing is, how's the skating rink going? Do we know? I've been there a few times, but I haven't seen anybody skating. I still have a few people working, I believe. We did hire a couple. Is there good ice? Is there not good ice? I don't know.
I don't know about the ice. They have not started working yet. They will be
Well, they haven't.
this
Okay.
week, but they have not.
That's why I asked. Thank you.
Yes. So the plan is tomorrow to get that all sorted out so that they can start this week.
Okay, 'cause in the past, it used to be Christmas break. It depended on weather. Weather changes at this time. Thank you. That's all I have.
Can we add that to the staff meeting agenda? For
Yes,
tomorrow?
it's on there.
Thanks. Councilor?
Yeah, just to touch on Danny's point, Public Works, they're doing a great job. And also fire department, Santa night's always a huge hit. It's always a good turnout, lots of people. The weather was cold this year, but we prevailed and got it done. And then the only other thing I had is, I know we always plow the bike trail, but can we make a note to get the sidewalks cleaned to the bike trail? Because this last go around, it was 6 days before they were cleaned. So it's only one block. So I didn't think that big of a deal to get that much cleaned. So then the crosswalks, but and that's all I had.
I'm surprised we didn't get a phone call. Usually, anytime the walking trail is impeded by any means, it's phone calls. So, Councilor Navy.
I wasn't able to get out. I think this is the first year I didn't get out when the fire department went around and handed out candy to take the houses, you know. But I heard them, and I always appreciate that. We go, oh, they're out giving candy. It's the first year we didn't have grandchildren to send out the door, so I do appreciate that, doing that. I would like to see, because I heard some discussion about the hours down on the second floor, and so maybe we could put that on the next agenda to talk about.
I was going to also task the personnel committee with meeting with
Okay.
city
Oh,
office
that'd be
staff
fine.
as well. So,
And then with their recommendations and then not just recommendations, but the reasons why they decide whatever they decide. That's all I have.
Councilor Waller.
Okay, I have a couple updates. One of them, the first one is the P&Z, because I'm the liaison for P&Z. And we're really excited because Zenith Properties is planning to build 10 market rate units, rental units on the old Reich's site. So I'm not sure if everybody's aware of that or not. So that's kind of in the works. And the P&Z recommended to rezone the parcels because right now they're zoned school,
Oh, yeah, public. school.
public or school. And then they also voted to rezone the parcels that were purchased by Fairway Custom Homes up at, well, it's not actually Voyager's Retreat, it's called Caribou Crossing, yeah. And they're going to continue to work on the short-term rentals. And then I wanted to check with you, Michael, on this. So if other people want to watch the the planning and zoning via Zoom, can they?
As long as we put it on the agenda that it is available via interactive technology, then yes, we could.
Okay, I don't know if other people are interested. I mean, I would hope they're interested, but so I wanted to find out about that. And then I'm also the liaison for the strategic plan 2 update, and the committee has decided to disband as they have met the goals, or the goals are being taken over by city staff. So SD2 will be no more. But I just wanted to remind city staff that when exterior work is being done in the commercial zone and people come in to get a permit, they need to refer them to the Architectural Review Board. That has to be part of the permit now. And that was passed by the council, I don't know, 3 months ago, maybe. So I'm gonna just make sure that everybody is aware of that. And then personal comments. People have been commenting about how well the public works have been keeping up the streets. Somebody the other day said, wow, I've never seen them plow so much. So, and that's always nice to see. And then lots of positive comments about the park decorations. And I'm personally really happy that they're leaving them up for another month. And as far as the age-friendly initiative goes, we're still collecting data. Our next step will be to share the data. So we'll have a public meeting and then we'll formulate an action plan. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Councilor. I got a couple of things, and as I look forward to hearing about the age-friendly information, because I'll be honest, I've been kind of harping about the ADA compliance for the last 3 years, but since having some limited mobility on crutches these last 3 weeks, I apologize to everybody in this community for not really putting the heat on, because you can't get in and out of this building. I mean, it's terrible. So I look forward to some potential, progress on that note. And as Councilor Waller mentioned, the lights in the park are going to stay on until February 1st. There's been an overwhelming request from citizens and guests to keep it that way. So the guy that does all the lighting has said, yeah, we'll hang on to that. for those of you who haven't seen, I did put a survey out. It is my personal survey. It's not for the city, but it's just a input on people's feelings on what's going on in town. It's actually going really well. I've got closing in on 100 responses after the first weekend. I'm going to email it to Michael, so he'll send it out internally as well. I wanted to make sure that I got public input before we did internal input as well. And like you said, it's been coming pretty good. So I'm hoping that I can continue with that kind of thing throughout the year. And I do want to compliment our staff as well, not only Public Works but our office staff. 2025 was an incredibly challenging year. 2026 is looking to be a lot better and a lot more positive. And I can't thank everybody enough. And I wish Sherry was here to hear that as well. We're also we just got an email from Pete Caro, who did the initial West Annex plan. It was in 2022 October. We had kind of started that back up again. And then with the administrator change and all the other, there's only so many hours in the day. So the committee is going to come back together here in the beginning of February and start pushing that just because Giants Ridge is at a point now where the IRRR has approved single track trail to the edge of their property. So if we can continue that trail right into town, that'll be a big deal. So that's a good one. And then the last thing I have is I am putting together a State of the City meeting and address. It will be hosted at Giants Ridge, February 17th. I wanted to do it a little earlier, but unfortunately, between Nordic and Alpine skiing, there is sections the first week of February and state the second week, so they couldn't support anything in the evening after that. So there'll be more coming out at the end of the week as that finalizes. My hope is to have somebody from the Civic Association give a presentation, our new administrator. The new GM at Giants Ridge is committed to that as well. So there'll be some good information coming out that day, and there'll be more to follow on that. So that is all I have. So we will move on to item 10A, old business. 10A is Main Street Foliage Caretaker Proposal. In your packets, there is a proposal of contract that Attorney Minton has provided. There are a couple of items that we have to have a clear definition of what is expected and the pay rate and commencement dates.
You want us to talk about it now? First, you have to make a motion first.
Yeah, I guess in this case, we should make the motion first and then to approve it, and then we can do the additions inside there. So.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the contract.
You have to approve it with the two additions that I have in my letter.
Oh, yeah. So,
We should discuss that first.
can we do that under discussion?
Yeah.
Okay. So, any discussion?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Counselor Navy.
Instead of, I talked to Chris and he's more than willing to go along with it. Instead of an hourly rate, to do a monthly rate of $2,500 a month. Okay, which if you want to know what it comes out to at 140 hours, it's 17.8571 So,
So close to 18.
so it's close to 18. And then to clarify the area that he does, would be the two divides, one on each of N Town and then the main street. The park is by volunteer. That's not to be done by him. Okay, so it's the two divides, one on each end of the town, and then the whole Main Street Boulevard.
Boulevard and sidewalk.
On each, by the sidewalks, yes. That's the two things I wanted to clarify.
Okay, is there any more discussion?
Yeah. This map that was included is not the map that.
No, that was just an example of, so we can set the.
Yeah, because that's what I had given to Benji last year when they were watering.
Oh.
So I, as part of this contract, Christopher had said that he would water. Well, I spoke with Benji today, and the city it has a tank and a pump, but the tank is really big. And so I don't know if Christopher has the means to transport the big tank and otherwise Benji said he would still do it. And then the only other question I had was specialized tools in the contract. So I don't know if you want Christopher to address that or he's got his hand up.
Please click the rectangle button there if you would, so it turns a green light on. It should be on anyway. If it's not, you have to hold it down for a bit. There you go. Now you're good.
Yeah. Okay, so in matters with that, when I heard from Public Works about the water carrying situation in order for them to water, they were commanded to water to all over the streets up and down and everything, and they had to do it the hard way with that water truck, where they basically took a four-wheel drive pickup truck up the sidewalk and had to use it in order to get that out of there. When I spoke with Benji, he said he wanted to have something set up so it would work a little bit better. And initially, when I spoke with everybody, they weren't even sure if I'd be the one doing the watering. And that was the confusion, because there was so much going back and forth where people were not sure what was happening with that. And I'm more than happy to water everything, and I was surprised to see Public Works doing that. And in fact, when it comes to union dollars and what we spend as a city for people to drive up and down a sidewalk to water a bunch of little street planters, the whole point of what I'm doing here is to water stuff like that and make it a little bit easier for everybody. And that's why I didn't interfere with the volunteers with the entire thing.
And my question is, do you have the means or does Public Works?
When it comes to the means, this is where I'm getting to here.
Okay.
The means, Benji said they would have me set up with something. If they can't, initially, when I talked about this in the first place, I requested that I had to have some kind of watering trailer or some kind of way to get the potable water around to the plants. And I was very clear that I cannot do that if there is not the right equipment, because I cannot provide that out of my own budget. It's already enough that I would start supplying my own PPE gear, which is personal protection equipment. You know, all that, shovels, tools, and everything else involved. So when I do this, I mean, if there was ever anything that ever became clear to people here in town, it's the fact that I get up at 5 a.m. and start sweeping the town when it's early enough for me to do it. And I don't mess around with that. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit spicy with that whole thing, but looking at what's going on with that, you can see where I'm coming from. So in that question about that supplying of a watering system, that sounds like it's something that would have been coming from the city anyway. I don't know. As far as Benji's concerned, he'll have to answer that question, because I sure as hell can't.
Well, I guess
Sorry about the swear word.
I guess that's why what I'm asking you, because I mean, Benji said if you are not able to water that, the Public Works would still water. So I guess it's something that has to be worked out.
And that was the entire initial conversation when we started on this. When I spoke with our new city administrator here, I was talking about doing this in the end of January through February, maybe, give or take, to figure out this contract, because there was so much going on. Considering what we had going on with our city, we had to have everything settle in, and I didn't want to rock the boat.
Okay.
I'm trying to be nice about it, really.
Well, I guess another question I have is, like Benji had said, well, maybe they could get a smaller tank and they could put it on the toolcat. But could Christopher use the toolcat? Could he use city equipment? Another question.
We have it in the contract right now.
Okay.
Specialized.
Okay.
Under the shelter.
I mean, and I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page. I mean, you do sound angry, Christopher, and I don't understand why you're being angry, because I just want to make sure that everybody knows what is expected.
Oh yeah, I get that entirely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sometimes I can come across a little bit intense, but it's because this has been a long process, you know? over and over, I see all these different things.
So I guess those were the only questions I had. And I guess it would be nice if we could get the map. Do you have the map of the Main Street plantings?
I sent that to you, Mayor
I
Beyondich.
think you still have my big copy, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I can forward a new one too.
Okay,
That's fine.
yeah,
I don't know why it's so complicated. You see, when you ask why I sound angry, it's because it's that. It's that
Well-
same thing over and over.
because I guess I would like to see the map attached to the contract so that, just
And that's
because-
okay. I
yeah.
can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Okay, those
Yeah,
are the
'cause
only
this-
questions
I say
I
the
had.
map on the contract is incorrect. I know it's just a placeholder. So,
Larry, did you say that Chris would be operating city equipment?
No. Using. What kind of?
What,
The toolcat
Toolcat,
with the
yeah.
water jug on the back and the pump.
No, shouldn't be.
Okay, I thought you said a minute ago that he would.
Maybe I misspoke. But it should not be having somebody outside operating our equipment.
I don't think we can. Our insurance policy doesn't allow.
Oh yeah, I agree with that too. The insurance policy would not allow me to operate city equipment like that. And I'm in full understanding of it, and I get where that comes from.
Well, and I think, there was talk last year too about figuring something out from a watering standpoint. I know that when I was doing 2 years ago, I had just a small 12-volt pump in the back of my side-by-side, and I would just water, and then I would stop at the park and fill up and continue on. I'm guessing that we probably need to figure something out from a watering standpoint, just in general. I know like over in Aurora, Spruce Up Aurora has a little trailer that they can tow behind a vehicle or even a lawn tractor or something of that nature just to go around town and water. I mean, that's a volunteer committee. I don't know, houses at the city, I guess I don't know, but just from a watering standpoint, I know that other communities do have something smaller than a big giant tote that goes back with a 3/4 ton truck. So,
And to raise my voice there for a second, I agree with that entirely. That entire idea of having a small watering vehicle like that is absolutely A+ because it removes our city from liability and the problems involved. It makes it a lot easier.
no, I definitely think that we can figure out a watering solution just between staff and public works. So it should be straightforward.
Okay, because in the contract, it does say that he will water. So that's, I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page as far as that goes.
No, it went sold on surplus, yeah, I think, right? Huh?
We saw it.
We still have it?
Nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I thought that one sold. Okay.
Because how many pickups do we have? Does the city have? Because I mean, couldn't we set up a tank in the back of one of the pickups?
Yeah,
I mean,
think
could you operate a pickup and use that?
so.
No.
Yeah, city insurance doesn't allow for that. So I'm guessing we can. I'm sure with our public works department, they came up with the last solution. I'm sure they can come up with another.
You gotta have something mechanized to go up and down the street.
Right. And like I said too, I've got that little 12-volt pumping thing I bought literally for just doing that, and I mean, whatever. they
And
can grab
Benji
that.
they do have a pump, he said,
Yeah. So I'm guessing that won't be too difficult to come up with a solution. So.
Dan's distinction is right. We gotta make sure any mechanized equipment run by the city. So, one other question I had, Steve, was, is it $2,500 a month for 6 months?
So when I was looking through this, I was under the impression that we were starting May 15th and ending October 15th.
okay, this I think says May
This
1st.
is May 1st.
Yeah.
I think that's what I thought that's what we had, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah,
I thought that's
yeah,
what
because
we
I
had.
think May 1st is too early.
Yeah, and I think that's what we talked about.
When did I started?
He said May 15th
I put on half a month.
until
Until October
October
15th.
15th.
Because once, like I said, once we get through the Oktoberfest weekend, it's kind of hunkered down for winter season there at that point. So, and that was what we talked about back, I believe, in September, August, September, so whenever we approved the proposal. So,
September.
Okay, and then this would come out of the recreation budget, is that what it's under? Okay.
So,
And you're okay with the dates, Chris, starting May 15th, ending October 15th?
Yes, that would actually be fantastic. When it's split month, it's perfect to jump in there so I can do a tree protection in the fall and then pre-work or
Right.
fertilizing and setting everything up, preventing weeds from growing. It's perfect.
perfect.
I like it.
Thank you.
I'm very big fan of that.
Okay,
Thank you, Chris.
so,
A motion to agree that all amend the contract in accordance with the council and that mayor and administrator are authorized to sign this contract.
so we had a motion to approve, so would that be an amendment then to that motion?
Oh, you can just say amended the contract.
To the contract, okay. So, is there any other discussion?
Yes. What about the map? Do we have a map?
Yes.
I'm gonna put down dividers like you were saying, Kathy, and sidewalks and the boulevard, but we still need where, how far?
Yeah, we've got the actual map that we can attach. That's not a drawing like
This
this.
one's got some writing on it, but I got.
Yeah. And we have in the city offices, because I had a copy of it and I gave it to Mr. Enquist. So it's pretty laid out on that first sheet, that 11 by 17. So we can add that to that as well. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10B, second reading of ordinance 12.71, approving the land sale to Fairway Custom Homes.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the second reading.
Or
Or,
It has been moved and seconded to dispense with the second reading of the ordinance. And then we need is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do we need to, Larry, do we need to approve the second reading, or do we just have to dispense with it?
That's fine.
Okay, just wanted to make sure before we moved on. All right, well, item 11A, new business. Rates and fee schedule for council review. There's no action to be had on this tonight. It's just to give the council and a chance to look at all of our fee schedule and just notice if there's anything missing from here that we should have on this. And I think the city administrator and I have already talked about a few things like God, what we just talked about this
Yeah,
afternoon.
Public Works, like,
Oh, the FEMA
So-
rates as well should be on here. And I don't know if anybody else has any other additions to this document.
I was just wondering, for stormwater, it has residential and then nothing for commercial. That's $650 for,
anything that's blank on here, I was either trying to gather it or just missed it as I was going
okay.
through. But I thought there would be less than this, but there are a lot of things. So trying to gather them, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get
okay,
everything.
all right, thank you.
If we're going to do a full-blown rate schedule that we approve annually, am I missing it on here? But pavilion rental should be on here as well.
I think it says varies, yeah, it's on,
Oh, is it just under varies?
no, it's on here, but it has like very.
Oh, the
very-
very, no, that was what I mean. Like we should, the
What it costs if you're
what it costs if you
resident.
rent it. There's a couple of that rate schedule that we approved
Yeah.
a couple of years back. Because I know it depends on if you use the kitchen or not. Those kind of things. So I just think that should be clarified on here as well. Is there any other input from the council? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to item 11B, the solid waste management contract with East Mesabi Sanitation and solid waste management rate set. And we also have Mr. Gardner here from East Mesabi Sanitation, if anybody has any questions. And before we jump in, I do want to thank Mr. Gardner for all the very detailed and the detail and everything in the ability to actually save us some money over the next couple of years. So
Steve, what
Yes.
about this?
that was you delayed it or delayed it.
Oh, okay, I thought this was that we were going to. Okay, I thought, never mind. I thought it was for rezoning.
Nope,
Sorry.
just for the
Okay, just the reading, okay.
So, so in the solid waste management contract, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the solid waste management contract with East Wasabi Sanitation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11C, Resolution 2026-1. Go.
Just for the council here, I'm happy to come in and make a presentation. This general thought on all of these words that I've had. Many of the other cities around here sometimes help them understand fees, why they're paying charges, etc. Don't need to, but I'm happy to come in anytime you want.
You might be on deck for that one before long, so. Through my survey, there's been some questions about how it all works, so.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say many cities have come into various forms, whether it's their library, state of the city page, whatever you want. I'm happy to come and give an overview of how garbage works in our area, how it works in other models,
Sure.
you know, whatever people want. 'Cause it's not that straightforward, honestly.
Right.
You have like, you know, it's a change. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jamie. Much appreciated. Item 11C, Resolution 2026-1, transferring solid waste management to St. Louis County fee, or transferring the solid waste management St. Louis County fee to St. Louis County. Sorry.
I'll make the motion.
I will support it. There's been a motion and a second to approve the solid waste management fee change. Is there any discussion? I do want to note that we are passing this now, but this does not take effect until 2027. It's obviously after the first of the year, everything St. Louis County tax rate is set. However, this will get rid of the rate on the utility bill per month, and it will bring it over to the county. So if you have anybody who has property outside of the city of Biwabik, you do see an $85 charge from the county, and that's per parcel within the entire St. Louis County. So that will then transfer that directly to the county, and there won't be any, we have to pay the city, and the city has to pay the county. We just pay the county directly. So,
And that fee is for landfill for everybody and their recycling. Not, and the city, it's a county.
county, yeah, it's county-wise. So, and currently,
Opportunity to use those services.
yeah, and it's currently at utility ratepayers are paying $69. The fee is $85, and the tax levy is subsidizing the rest of it. So this is a good way to clear up all that and eliminate some of those
So-
overages.
So this will be on our tax statement, 2027.
Correct.
Okay, so when people see that their taxes went up $85,
Right, it'll show up as a separate line for
Oh,
assessments, not actual taxes. So, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call, Shannon?
Counselor Burke.
Aye.
Lehman.
Aye.
Amy. Waller.
aye.
Mayor Beyondich.
Aye. Motion carries, resolution is approved. Moving on to item 11D. Resolution 2026-2, appointing planning and zoning commission members. As I mentioned in the agenda meeting, we will need a motion to remove Peter Centerigi, excuse me, and declare a vacancy.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to remove Peter Centerigi from the planning commission and declare a vacancy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will now, do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-2?
So moved.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the 2026-2 planning and zoning commission member resolution. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Shannon, can I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Burke.
Aye.
Lehman.
Aye.
Mimi. Waller.
Aye.
Mayor Beyondich.
Aye. Motion carries, resolution is adopted. That concludes the new business. We'll move on to external communications, the East Range Volunteer Fair flyer. There's an East Range Volunteer Fair at the Aurora Community Center on February 11th. So if anybody wants to go and participate and offer their volunteer services, it is a collaboration of all of the East Range communities.
Will the BACA be there?
The VACA will.
Oh, there.
So, and then moving on to our final item of the open public forum. Does anybody wish to speak in front of the council this evening?
What about the people that are watching?
That's still being worked on. Yep. That's right. It's being worked on. That's come up in discussion even today, actually. So it's complicated because we don't own it. It's on tax forfeit property, so we don't own it. So it's kind of an interesting scenario. I'm sorry, can we go to the podium? No, anybody that's got anything, please, and then state your name. John gets a pass. He's the old guy in town, so.
Yeah, Dave Setniker here. Two things. One probably will come up next month. The first one is we've long neglected some of the history of Biwabik in terms of a lot of firsts that we've had in Biwabik. And as we walk into the city hall, I thought that it would be a good place to put up almost a permanent historical recognition to the swimming program. It's more than just a sport that since we don't have Biwabik anymore, it's Misabi East. But as some people know or don't know, this pool, which is long gone, and Aaron, you're going to be building on it, this is where high school swimming started in the state. This is where the Minnesota State High School League actually had its first state meets. And it's a first 25-yard pool. And of course, there was a great history here. We had girls' state championships, and the 1661 team won back-to-back state championships and so forth for a small town, and that was against everybody and so forth. So I've got some very good pictures from back there. I've got a chart that could go in the pool. I have some pictures of the different teams and so forth. So I'd like to next month give you a rendition of what it could look like and get your approval or not to put that up. And I'll do it at my own expense. It's not that much. The second thing is everybody knows that the Catholic Church is now basically a public entity. And so the one thing that has been brought to my attention historically is that the large bell actually has some names of citizens that started the church in the early, 1902. There are 3 bells. They're currently residing on over in White Lakes. And I talked to Debbie Servati, and they're seemingly willing to just donate the bells to us. What we do with them is a different story. I mean, I have some ideas what I'd like to do with them, but those kinds of ideas I think are expensive. Nevertheless, when that actually happens, it'll likely come to the city council as some kind of donation. And because that's another part of our history that should still be recognized despite the fact that the church is no longer a church. As Steve already knows, we've got some other things that maybe from a picture standpoint aren't done. This is the first city that had electricity, the first city that had an electric steam shovel, the first women-owned charter bank in the state of Minnesota, the bank over here. Louise Nyson and Mary Lachine. So we've got a really history here that we should actually promote and so forth. And it's those of us that have grown up here and so forth, it's a big deal. And so I'll be kind of pursuing this historical side of it as we move on. But next month, we should have a better idea on the two items that I mentioned previously. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Anyone else? Going once?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Schweiger. I'm with Zenith Property Management. I'll try to keep my remarks brief. I had the pleasure of speaking with the Planning Commission last week. And as Councilor Waller mentioned, we have the opportunity to work with the IRRB in obtaining some grant money. And we would like to continue to work with the city to talk to you about in the future entering into a development agreement and applying with Zenith, with the city acting as a fiduciary to become a recipient of the IRRB housing grant funds. So essentially, we have the school site that we've identified. There's some other properties in town. We've speaking with Mayor Beyondich about some potential sites. So when you have the opportunity to put us back onto your agenda coming forward soon, we would like to be able to speak with you some more about this and show you some of our plans and ideas to move the project forward, and hopefully come July be able to apply for that housing grant. So thank you for your time this evening, and I look forward to speaking with you more in the future.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron.
And I just have a brief to give some assurance about the aesthetics and the congruency of the look of Biwabik. So we'll, even on the color selections on the railroad property, I came across and got samples from the community center. So just a simple assurance that if we're fully on board, we've got more to work with the designs that and the type of product that we've got identified for that property, but just some assurance that we would be nothing but a compliment, especially in the proximity to where everyone walks. And that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? All right. We will move on to everybody's favorite motion.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting at 18:42. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.